And good evening, everyone. We welcome you to Tolono, Illinois, Unity High School for high school football action this evening on WHOW-FM. This is Larry Dooling along with Cameron Mon as we greet you from Unity High School for tonight's Clinton Maroons football game, a non-conference game against the Rockets of Unity High School. Not a bad night for high school football action this evening. We had a delightful Friday night last week at Olympia. This week, the temperature a little bit cooler as Cameron's finding out the hard way. The young man from Texas, although he's been in Illinois for a couple of years now, he's going to be a tough guy tonight and go without a coach. And he's going to find out the hard way what it's like in the fall here in Illinois. But anyway, Cameron's set to help bring you tonight's ball game here as both teams undefeated 1-0 after opening wins last week. The Maroons defeating Olympia in our broadcast game by a score of 17-6. And the Rockets were winners against Monticello by a score of 9-7 last week. And Cameron, the folks here at Unity are high on their football team, and they're ready for the Maroons. They want to get us this year.
Yeah, all indications are Unity played a good game last week against Monticello. I believe it was the first time they had beaten Monticello since 1978, one of the fans told me earlier tonight. Defensively, they didn't give up a touchdown. Offensively, they spread the ball out, got a lot of people involved in the offense, and special teams won it with a safety for them.
Maroons have won the last few meetings between these two teams, and Unity coaches feel very good that this year they've got a shot at knocking off the Maroons here on their home field. In the meantime, the Maroons played a very good game last week. They started out a little sluggish. Their defense gave up a couple long drives by Olympia, one leading to a touchdown. The other one resulted in a fumble. They gave the ball to the Maroons, and the offense did their job, ran a lot of clock out, put enough points on the board, and the Maroons on both sides of the ball looking pretty good last week and feeling good going into game number 2 themselves.
Yeah, I think Clinton's got a lot of positives to work on from last week. It was basically a mistake-free game for the Maroons. No turnovers. They, after the first series on defense, they tightened the clamps and played very well. Offensively, they were efficient, moved the ball, spread it around, got a lot of people involved again, and special teams just did nothing but help the Maroons with good punting and good kickoff coverages, and then even the returns were pretty good for Clinton.
All right, well, we're just a few minutes away from the start of this ball game for you on WHOW-FM. And also, again, we're doing it here on Clinton Cable TV Channel 7, the delayed broadcast of the ball game on TV. Hope you enjoyed the game last week. Glad we can bring you another one. For those of you listening on the radio, we're going to take a break here and in just a moment have our IHSA This Week report with Art Kimball, and then we'll be back with the start of the ball game. In the meantime, we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a few minutes here on TV also, so stay with us with more in just a moment.
What?
The fact that they are a big team. They've got some big linemen. What have you heard about the Rockets so far?
Very aggressive team, very big team. I'm looking down the roster here. I see a couple of 235-pounders, 255, 249. And they'll hit you, too. I mean, I remember Ron Goodwin telling me that last year, and that's the first thing Chuck Nagel said this year. It should be a physical game tonight. Tolono's a run-oriented team. They like to control the ball, and to do that, you got to be big and physical. And looking down at the sidelines at them right now, they do look like they got a pretty good size along the trenches.
Of course, the thing about the Maroons line, they might not be quite as big, but they do have some pretty good size and certainly experience. A lot of players back from last year that played on that line, and of course they gained valuable experience last week, got back in the swing of things. And after maybe a little bit of a shaky start, especially defensively last week, those guys seemed to take over the line of scrimmage against Olympia, and that was a good sign.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the most overlooked factors in Clinton's victory last week was the offensive line. I mean, anytime you run the ball 52 times a game, you're controlling the ball, and there's no way you're going to do that if your offensive line's not winning battles. Andy Curley and Jesse Johns, great pair of bookend tackles. Kyle Bourne's a very good athlete. You know, he wrestles. Doug Hammer's a superior athlete, superior conditioning. And David Limmel, the coaches are really high on him. He's big and strong for just a junior.
Of course, the big question mark last week, or one of the big question marks, was how would the young sophomore quarterback for the Maroons do, Nate Sams? But he did very well last week. Hopefully he can continue that trend in this week's ball game. Give the Maroons a chance to have not only their good running attack, but also maybe show that ball in the air some again this week.
Yeah, I think now that Nate's got a game under his belt, the coaching staff might be willing to let him do just a little bit more this week.
Looks like the Maroons are going to receive the opening kickoff, and we get things squared away here on the field in just a moment and get ready to get this one underway. We'll see who's going to tee it up for Olympia in a moment as soon as the officials decide to give the ball over to one of the Rockets that'll be teeing it up at his own 40-yard line. But the officials in the meantime on the field still getting squared away, but we've got right about 7 o'clock, maybe just another 30 seconds or so. This game's going to start on time. We had a little scare when we arrived, the power was out here in Tolono, and they didn't have any power at the school. We thought maybe the game might be delayed, but the local power company, CIPS, was able to restore power a good 40 minutes or so before game time, and so everything's fine. The lights are on. We've got juice. Everything is fine, and we're set to go here right about on time as scheduled. We're looking for the deep man for the Maroons, and it'll be the same two as it was last week for the Maroons. When we get this one underway, Matt Parson and also young Ryan Connolly will be deep for the Maroons. Not sure what the delay's about here. The officials taking quite a bit of time to survey things, and they're having a little discussion.
It looks like they're trying to get the chain gang in order.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that on the far side.
Now. It looks like maybe
if Phil wants to pan over to the left, he's going to do so now, right? Well, you went a little too far. No, there they are. Okay, you're all right. Quit looking at my monitor and look out the window. You can see the official over there saying, "Okay, guys, we got a game here. Anytime now, we'll be ready to go." So they're getting the chain gang lined up and unraveling things, so they make sure they've got 10 yards of chain to mark the first downs with, and then we'll be about set to go. Looks like for Unity, Big Chuck Black, who's listed as a 6'2", 235-pound sophomore, Cameron, has got that ball teed up at his own 40-yard line, and he'll be kicking off this game in just a moment. For those of you watching the television replay, as we pan back, we'll see the Clinton crowd in just a moment here behind the Clinton football team. And you can see a couple of the small sets of bleachers on the far side of the field. They're pretty well filled up. A good number of Clinton fans are here and ready to cheer on the Maroons. And, of course, a nice crowd here at home for Unity. Ready to cheer on their team. They're excited about their football team here at Unity, just like the Maroons fans are about the Clinton Maroons this year. Unity to kick it off. And Black is set to go. The officials are squared away. The chain gang is in place, and we're about set to get this one underway. The second non-conference game of the year. He slipped a little bit on the kick, and it's a short kick. Bounces past Helton, but it's picked up by Parson, I believe it is, who brings it straight up the middle of the field and then is knocked down as he crosses the 30-yard line, goes down about the 33-yard line. And that's where the Maroons will start first. First and 10 right there. Last week they started on defense first. Olympia went right down the field. But now the Maroons get the ball first, and of course their first possession last week also. The Maroons moved it down the field and put a touchdown on the board. Let's look at the starting lineup offensively for the Maroons as they bring it up to the line of scrimmage. Of course, the quarterback is this young sophomore, Nate Sands. Nate, a sophomore who lists at 170 pounds. On a first down, he'll hand it off to the tailback. And looking for room to the outside, getting around the corner is Josh Carter. Josh picks up about 3 or 4 yards before he's cut down after he crosses the 40-yard line. Initially, the line of scrimmage was about the 34, so he got more than that. He got almost 6 yards on the play, maybe close to 7. Josh Carter starting at tailback, a gain of 7. Second down and 3 coming up. Carter listed at about, I don't have it right here in front of me, but I think probably about 150 pounds, and we'll double check that for you. He of course, is a senior, and right in front of him, the fullback is Matt Parson, 185, and a senior. Out of the I formation, Matt will get the call, puts his head down, runs into one of those big linemen, but pushes him back, and is very close to a first down. Cameron, he had his head down and was pushing against some good size there, but was able to push back the big lineman, in that case, Lyndon Mumm, who's 6'1", 249 for Unity, and has the first down, it appears. Cameron's keeping stats again tonight. I guess you're going to run away from me and take some pictures during the third quarter again, too, huh?
That would be correct. Somebody's got to do it. I wish I had some more help here, but I don't.
2 running plays. The Maroons have a first down as they are moving close to midfield. They're at the 44-yard line, their own 44. Out of the I formation again. Again, it'll be Parson. Finds a little hole up the middle and gets it across midfield. He's to the 48-yard line of Unity. About an 8-yard pickup again for the Maroons. Matt Parson, and the Maroons moving the ball well on the ground.
Matt Parson running right over left guard. Dave Limmel cleared some space out there for him. Not a very complicated play, just a little dive off the guard tackle slot, and Parson made a nice pickup of about 8 yards.
When the Maroons run out of the double tight end offensive formation, Ben Nichols, 210 and a senior, will be one of those tight ends. Ben Helton will be the other, 185 and a senior. And the wide receiver, Chad Herzog, 140 and a senior. Senior-dominated lineup for the Maroons. In the slot on the left side was Herzog. It's Parson who gets the call, has a first down. After a little stumbled start, he got plenty of room up the middle and barrels it all the way inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line for another Maroon first down. Parson picking up some acreage here so far in the early going, and the Maroons have moved it from about their own, I believe it was their own 34-yard line already now to the 38 of Unity.
Clinton staying in between the tackles here in this opening drive and with quite a bit of success.
We'll give those linemen some credit here in just a second, point them out for you. Here's Parson again. He's caught from behind and drugged down, a gain of only about a yard on the play. The centers, Kyle Bourne, 225 and a senior. The guards, Doug Hammer, 180 and a senior. Andy Curley, the other guard, 270 and a senior. Tackles are Jesse Johns, 210 and a senior. And David Lemmel, 200 pounds and the only junior on the starting offensive line for the Maroons. 2nd and 9 coming up. Nichols lines up at the tight end on the right side. In the slot inside of him is Herzog, who gets the call. Breaks it up the middle and gets some good yardage all the way to the 30-yard line. A gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. It'll leave the Maroons about 2 yards short of a first down.
Clinton using a double tight end formation, running Chad Herzog in the slot a lot. That time they came back to Herzog, who ran back toward the Clinton sideline, and again staying in between the tackles, and a nice hole there for Herzog as he picked up about 7 yards.
3rd down, and it's a short 2, a long 1 for the Maroons, right at the 30-yard line of Unity. Want to keep this drive alive, and Sams will quarterback keep it and push hard forward, and he's very close to the first down. Quarterback keeper by sophomore quarterback Nate Sams, who's wearing number 9 out there if you're watching the video replay. Nate's easy to pick out, that Jim McMahon number. He's got it down to almost the 27-yard line. A first down for the Maroons, their 3rd of this opening drive.
Again, Clinton is distributing the ball well. 4 people have already gained yardage for the Maroons on offense, and I think that's part of their success this year will be how diverse they can stay on offense.
3 minutes into the ball game, no score, but the Maroons on a drive. 2 wide receivers left side. They'll pitch and go right, and he's going to have to hustle to get around the corner. Carter's caught behind the line of scrimmage, fights back to the 29-yard line before he's drugged down from behind. And Carter stopped for a loss of maybe 2 yards on the play. We'll see where they mark it. Eric Temple was on the tackle for Unity.
Give Tolono credit there. They strung that play out well, got some penetration on the right side of Clinton's offensive line, forced Carter outside farther than he wanted to be, and he couldn't get around the corner.
Haven't seen the ball in the air so far, but this could be a possible passing down for the Maroons now with a 2nd down and about a 12, but then again, they might not. They go with the 3, wide to the right side this time. And Nate will hand it off to the lone back. It's Parson. Up the middle, finds an opening, rambles forward, runs over a couple of guys and goes down right about the 20-yard line. He's a couple yards short of that first down, but he picked up almost 10 yards on that run. Parson, who was a workhorse last week, is going to continue the trend again this week, it looks like.
Yeah, a little misdirection play off the left side of the line, again behind Lemmel and Johns, and a nice hole there. The left side of Clinton's line seems to be getting a good effort for the running backs.
3rd down and 2, power I formation this time for the Maroons. Haven't seen that too often, and they'll get the first down. Carter up the middle, still staying on his feet. Now caught from behind and swung down, but he's got the first down inside the 15-yard line for the Maroons. The tackle made from behind by Joe O'Neill, a 6'2", 260-pound senior who grabbed him from behind and whipped him to the ground, but not till he got to the 13-yard line. First down for the Maroons. Their 4th of this drive, I believe, Cameron. You can double check me with the stats over there. And
that would be correct.
Moving it down the field nicely on the ground, especially between the tackles, like you said earlier.
All 10 plays have been on the ground so far for Clinton. Let's see if they try to change up and look for Ben Nichols.
Out of the eye again, Herzog wide to the left side, but it's Parson who gets a call and runs right into the back of his lineman and also to a Unity lineman and got very little yardage that time. He put his head down and ran into a wall, and very little gain on that first down play. They'll give him to the 12, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 coming up for the Clinton Maroons. The cameras in the top row of the bleachers here right in front of us, and passing traffic sometimes. You'll see a head or a shoulder or something like that once in a while, but good camera shots for our people watching on cable this week. Sams with his first pass over the middle, overshot his man Nichols, and it's knocked down. That one a little high and maybe behind Ben Nichols over the middle, and that one was up for grabs for a moment, it looked like, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, Ben had to get rid of the ball a little quick. Nate had to get rid of the ball a little quicker than he wanted to. Linebacker Dave Menon in his face rather quickly. Ben was cutting across the middle. It looked like he might have been open and possibly had the corner to turn around if he could have held on to the ball. From
about the 11-yard line, it's 3rd down and 9 for the Maroons. Again, out of the I formation, 2 wide receivers right, and Nate wants to go for one of those guys out on the right over the middle for Nichols. There's a flag on the play as it goes incomplete, but let's see what the penalty is. That flag is thrown along the line of scrimmage out here on the near side of the field. We'll see what the call is. Preliminary sign is a procedure penalty against the Maroons. Again, a little off the target on the pass. You know, Nate was very accurate, although he threw some very high percentage passes last week. But what was he, 8 of 11 last week on his passing? 0 for 2 so far in this ball game. Unity wants to push him away from the goal line, it looks like. I believe, well, they haven't decided for sure yet, but they were walking like they're going to take the penalty, which would give the Maroons still a 3rd down situation.
I would think the smart play might be to refuse the penalty and
Now
force Clinton into a 4th and long situation, which is what I think they're going to do.
Yeah, looks like that's what they're going to do now after further consideration. Lost it down on the incomplete pass. 4th down and 9 coming up. We're down to 6:53 to go in the first quarter. There's no score. Clinton's had the ball the entire first quarter so far, and they've driven it from their own 34 down to the 11 of Unity, but now they have a big play. 4th down and 9. They're going to go for it. One back in the backfield, and Sams drops straight back. Under some pressure. Short screen pass to Parson. He's got blockers out in front. Goes for the corner of the end zone. He stopped short, but he's very close to a first down near the 1-yard line. Parson goes out of bounds on the far side. We'll wait and see if he got enough for the first down. The Clinton crowd cheering like they think he's got it. We'll wait and see.
I believe he got, yes, he did. He got in. Parson smartly saw the pole and went for the side of it toward the goal line. He realized he wasn't going to score a touchdown there, but a good effort to get inside the pole and keep the drive alive.
Closer to the 2-yard line, but it was just enough for a first down. The senior did the job with the run after the catch. Now the Maroons on 1st and goal from the 2. Nate Sams, quarterback keeping. Boy, he is drilled. Blowing through there for Unity and putting the shoulder pads on him was David Yokley, I believe it's pronounced, maybe Yokley. Anyway, he's a 5'9", 205-pound junior who hit him hard, and he might have had some help on that play, but I saw his jersey in the vicinity of Nate Sams.
Yeah, a couple people got some penetration there. Clinton likes to run that quarterback sneak, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tolono's seen that before and might have been prepared for it.
2nd goal now. 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line, that is. Maroons trying to put the first points on the board of this ball game. Sams will try it again, and boy, he goes down quickly again. He's not getting anywhere. And it'll be 3rd down and goal coming up from still about that same spot. You can see Nate that time kind of cringing a little bit as he hit some of those big linemen, and he went down very quickly.
Again, linebackers Dave Mannon and Steve Hall get good penetration on both sides of the center, and saw what was. Oh, they're going to give Clinton a touchdown now?
Touchdown.
That's as late a call as I've ever seen.
I don't think we'll be able to use that any time in the future as a replay call on a touchdown, but they are saying that is a touchdown. And the Maroons are on the board.
Well, I guess the penetration wasn't that good.
I didn't think
they stopped him.
I didn't think he came anywhere close. Maroons going for the extra point now. That touchdown comes with 5:50 to go in the first quarter of play, and the Maroons lead 6-0. Jeremy Hinton's on for the extra point attempt. Kick is on the way. It looks good as far as distance goes from here, but apparently it goes wide to the right side, no good. So it stays at a 6-0 score. The Maroons lead 6-0 as we'll take a break with 5:50 to go in the first quarter of play. We'll be back with more action in just a moment.
The Warm Neighbors Fund pays heating bills for people in need. It also weatherizes homes, which helps reduce future heating bills. Warm Neighbors is administered by the Energy Assistance Foundation, a nonprofit organization formed in 1982 with a $250,000 donation from Illinois Power. Last year alone, your contributions and major funding from Illinois Power provided warmth for over 2,000 families. The Clinton Daily Journal brings hometown news to you Monday through Friday. If you haven't tried the Journal lately, pick up a copy and discover City Council and School Board news, who, what, where, and when, Farm Bureau, YMCA, and library features, up-to-the-minute sports coverage, high-impact classified ads, business and service guides, and much, much more. Call today, 935-3171, to subscribe to your hometown news.
Maroons with a 66-yard drive capped by a 2-yard quarterback keeper, I guess, by Nate Sams. Didn't look like he had made it in there, but he did, according to the officials. And the Maroons lead 6-0. Jeremy Hinton ready to tee it up and kick it off for the Maroons. To Unity now. They used up half the first quarter with that long, time-consuming drive on the ground. One of the up men will take it for Unity at about the 20, 25, 30-yard line. And Brad Smith on the return gets it across the 30-yard line to about the 31-yard line, where Unity will start on their drive now, 1st and 10. I tell you, even though it looked a little strange the way it finished up with a touchdown, that was a very good drive by the Maroons. Of course, the running, especially of Matt Parson, key to that touchdown.
Yeah, 16-play drive, 13 of them on the ground, 3 in the air. A big 4th down conversion there for Clinton, and a very impressive start for the Maroons. Let's hope they can stop them on defense now.
Justin Bates is the quarterback, number 11 out there, and on first down, no gain on the quick handoff, and Matt Parson there in the middle to knock down the running back on the play for no gain. Unity has in there at one of the running back spots Phil Burgess. He's a 5'6", 149-pound junior, and he picked up very little gain, maybe half a yard or so on the play. 2nd down and about 9.5 coming up for Unity. They're at their own 32-yard line. Bates is a 195-pound senior. I formation in the backfield, but here's a whistle and some flags thrown with the snap of the football, and we'll wait and see what this is. coming up.
May have had some movement on the left side of Clinton's defensive line there. Let's see if he was drawn offside.
We had that happen a lot last week at Olympia. At least it seemed like a lot, and I think you got it right.
They called off. They pointed toward Tolono. Usually they don't. If they're offsides, they'll let the play run. Maybe in illegal motion.
5-yard penalty against the Rockets, whatever the case may be. They're back to their own 28-yard line, we'll call it, maybe close to the 27. Second down and about 14 now for the Rockets. Looks like they'll go with a power I formation, one wide receiver to the right side. And Bates will roll out right and look downfield. Short pass, got a wide open man there. Adam Long quickly makes the tackle as the catch is made out there in the right flat by Joe O'Neill. O'Neill is about 3 yards short of a first down near the 38-yard line. Maybe that's about 4 yards short of the first down. So 3rd and 4 coming up for the Rockets. He makes a nice target out there, though, for Bates, and put it right on the numbers to him.
Bates rolled out a little bit to his right. So I was watching him do that a little bit in practice, and it seems like he's fairly effective rolling to his right. Throw right on the money. Nice catch and run for Tolono.
3rd and 4 play now. Bates will roll out right again. He's under some pressure, flushed out of the pocket, rolls out right side, fires upfield, almost intercepted by Josh Carter. He got in front of the intended receiver and knocked it down with a good defensive play. Stepped in right in front of the intended receiver, who was Eric Temple of Unity, and that would have been enough for a first down if they had been able to complete that pass, but Carter was there.
Yeah, Bates rolling out to his right again, and that's the short side of the field in this play, and he and his receiver ran out of room. Carter, heads-up play there, saw that, and anticipated a throw toward the sidelines, and made the nice defensive stop for Clinton.
Looks like Ryan Reinhart will do the punting chores for Unity, as with a 4th and 4, they set up for an apparent punt. Snap is back to him. He's got it. He will boot it away. Good high end-over-end kick by the junior. And Herzog from his own 25 hit quickly, hangs on to the football, but goes down after a good solid hit by Jason Dancy, a sophomore, 5'7", 159 for the Rockets. Clinton will have the ball again, though. They scored on their opening drive, went from their own 34-yard line, moved it downfield, and on a 2nd and goal from the 2, scored on a quarterback keeper by Nate Sams. They lead with 4:10 to go here in quarter number 1. The Maroons leading by a score of 6-0, and now their second shot with the football. Here's Chad Herzog going wide to the right side. High backfield again behind Sams. He'll option right, cuts it upfield on his own this time, and makes a good carry before he's brought down by James Wemsley. He's a 5'9", 147-pound senior for Unity. A gain of about 5 on the play for Sams on the quarterback keeper on the option right.
Yeah, interesting to note that that's the first option Clinton's run tonight. I don't believe they used it in that first series, so maybe the Clinton staff was trying to save it for a little ways into the game here.
Split backfield this time. Helton's wide to the left side, Herzog to the right. Looked like Sam slipped a little bit on the handoff, but he got it to Parson. He breaks a couple of tackles and cuts it up the near sideline, goes out of bounds after gaining another first down. He's out of bounds at the 42 of Unity, and a couple of Unity players on the line a little slow getting up. That offensive line for the Maroons here in the early going doing a pretty good job. We're down to 3.5 to play in the first quarter.
Good athletic play by Sams there. Looks like he almost had his knee on the ground there. I don't know how he kept from actually not being called down there. It looked like he slipped, but got the handoff to Matt, and Matt made a nice run off the right side of the line behind Andy Curley and Doug Hammer there.
Sams again with the split backfield. He'll give it to Parson again, and he goes right into that line and is cut down. A good low tackle submarine style to trip him up by J.D. Curry, who's a sophomore. They got a lot of sophomores on their lineup here, and some of them contributing here early in this ball game for the Rockets. Clinton will have a 2nd down and 10 now. They're at their own 43-yard line here in their second possession of the football game. Tom Meyer comes in with the play from the sideline. Tom had a great game last week, didn't he? From not only his line position offensively, but especially from that defensive end position. Of course, he made the big tackle on the safety.
All over the field defensively. Anytime you call out a defensive lineman's name as much as we did last night, he's having one heck of a game. He played smartly, stayed home, and made a lot of big plays for Clinton.
Sam's option left will keep the football again and gets it near midfield. He could have pitched it to Carter, but decided to hang on to that football, and a good decision. He got about 6 yards, maybe only 5 on the play. It's between 5 and 6. Brought down near the 49-yard line, still in Maroons territory, but very close to midfield. 3rd down and a long 4 coming up for Clinton.
Again, Clinton staying in those 3rd and fairly reasonable yardages to make a first down with the run or the pass there, and I think that gives them a lot of options.
That's not going to get much. Carter gets the call, tries the left side of the line, is met immediately at the line of scrimmage, and the Maroons now will probably be forced to punt the football away. That 3rd down play lost about a half yard. They're definitely now at the 49-yard line. And 4th down and about 5 coming up. It is 4th down, and the Maroons have not brought in, Well, of course, Nichols is out there anyway, so I guess I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, aren't I?
Well, let's see if Clinton maybe tries to draw Tolono off sides here. That could be a
I think that's
possibility
the call.
here.
And if they don't, they'll use a timeout and then punt. Oh, they did it. Nate with the good call at the line of scrimmage. Drew I believe it was the right end across the line of scrimmage.
I don't think anyone jumped higher on the sideline than offense coordinator Brian Knudsen there either after they saw Tolono did that.
You saw it right there on the replay on TV, and they needed 5 yards for a first down, and that should give them the first down. It's very close, and as he steps it off, that's enough for a first down. Well, you got to try those things when you can and see if it works. It's early in the season, and it's a better chance that those things might work early in the year. The players get smarter as the season goes on, obviously. That gives the Maroons a first down, keeps the drive alive. We're under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter play. Clinton leading by a 6-0 score, but driving with the football again, aided by a penalty now. Nichols and Herzog are wide to the right side. I formation backfield, and Parson gets the call. A little hesitation, and he's knocked down. Matt's not getting quite as much yardage now going into that middle of that Unity line as he was early in this first quarter of play, but the Maroons still going after it. They might have to open up the offense a little bit more now. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up near the 46-yard line of Unity. This time Herzog comes wide to the near side. Nichols is wide to the far side of the field. And pump fake. Sams had to hesitate and hold the football and goes down at the line of scrimmage after he runs with it. He wanted to throw to Nichols on a quick in, and I think they had it covered well. He decided to hang on to it. It about slipped out of his hands, but he might have made a smart play there.
Very likely that could have been the little hitch and lateral play that Clinton likes to run. I saw Carter swing out of the backfield, and Nichols, what he does is he comes in and he makes about a 5-yard in and turns and looks for the ball. And Sam saw something he didn't like, I think, and wisely decided to hold on to that ball because you throw an interception in that situation, and a lot of times that's 6 points for the other team.
3 wide receivers to the right side. Lone back in the backfield's Parson. He'll block for Sams, who fires it out here to Nichols in the right flat. Now he'll try to run for the first down. He's got it. He stays in bounds. He's at the 25, 20-yard line. He's now inside the 15, 10. That's Nichols running all the way for the touchdown. Ben Nichols with a great run, having tacklers bounce off of him the last 30 or 35 yards after making the catch. Puts the Maroons on the board with their second touchdown of the ball game with 32 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. That'll be a 46-yard touchdown pass from Sands to Nichols, but Nichols doing the majority of it on the run after making the catch. 12-0 in favor of the Maroons. Extra point attempt coming up. Sands put it right on the numbers, but again, it was Ben Nichols who's being looked at hard by the University of Illinois as a possible tight end and during his college career possibly. They'll go for 2. Sams will hand it off. Carter with plenty of blocking takes it in, and the Maroons put the 2 points on the board. 14-0 in favor of the Clinton Maroons with 32 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Hallmark. When you care enough, send the very best. 3 cards for a $3 promotion. Coupons available at the store. Offer good through October 31st. One-stop shopping and savings on all your office supply needs. Sales flyer available. Great bargains. New ideas to make your office more efficient. Locally owned and managed. Taking pride in living in Clinton. Supporting local organizations and programs such as this. Pain pills are a common thing with people who feel they have no place left to turn. Pills for your backaches, for that headache. Pills for your sinuses. You've been to your doctor. He doesn't know what else to do, so you keep on taking pills. But pills don't have to be a part of your life, and neither does pain. Your backache or headache can be relieved without surgery and without drugs. At the Allen Chiropractic Health Clinic in Clinton, Dr. Harold Allen will diagnose the cause of your pain, and once you find the cause, you can usually find the cure. Pain is not normal. Something can be done about it. Call the Allen Chiropractic Health Clinic at 935-6842. We relieve pain.
Maroons set to kick off again. Jeremy Hinton with the boot. High end over end kick. That'll be taken at about the 15-yard line. Now the 20, 25-yard line. Putting his head down and getting forward to about the 29-yard line was J.D. Curry of Unity. Not a bad return of almost 20 yards. And Unity will have their second possession now with the football. They're going to spot it very close to the 30-yard line of Unity. 1st and 10 with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter. Good first quarter for the Maroons. There's no two ways about it, Cameron. Great start for Clinton.
Very, very good looking on offense. Moved the ball down the field well both times. Got a lot of people involved again and making good things happen.
Jason Bates, the quarterback, will hand it off to the deep man. He's met behind the line of scrimmage. It's Meyer again. Help from Helton on the play also. And Doug Scott also helping out on the tackle on the play, and very little gain on the play for the running back, Eric Temple, who's in the ball game at that tailback position. And that's the final play of the first quarter. The Clinton crowd on the far side of the field saluting their Maroons because they're up by 2 touchdowns at the end of 1 quarter of play. We'll take a break. Clinton leading the Unity Rockets by a score of 14-0.
Delicious frozen Dairy Queen cakes are a great way to surprise a friend or delight your family. A variety of sizes and...
You see the Clinton Maroons with a brief huddle before we get the second quarter of play going again here, or started, I guess we should say. Maroons leading by a 14-0 score. I can't wait to watch the replay on TV next week, Cameron, of the run by Ben Nichols after making the catch. He dodged a lot of tacklers and somehow stayed in bounds very close to the near sideline on that run for the touchdown.
Yeah, like you said, Larry, he bounced off a couple tacklers, had to tightrope along the line there, and just all effort on Ben's part.
No gain for Unity as we start the second quarter of play. They tried to run it right to the middle on a 2nd down and 10, and maybe a half yard or so on the carry, but very little gain. So they'll be faced with a 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 9.5 coming up for Unity. They're just across their own 30-yard line.
Impressive thing about that first quarter, Clinton ran 24 plays to Tolono's 4 plays. And when you do that, generally you're going to come out on the winning end of the game if they can just keep up that pace.
Yeah, the Maroons did that last week. Controlled the ball, maybe not quite to that degree against Olympia last week, but certainly ball control played a part in that ball game and the win over the Spartans. And again, they're showing that here in the first quarter of play against Unity. So we're 14 seconds into the second quarter of play. And as Unity breaks huddle on a 3rd down and 9.5, here they go. Bates rolling out right, looking downfield, lofts it high in the air for his receiver. Nice catch made and out of bounds near midfield. A good catch and a 1st down for the Rockets. Adam Long on the tackle, but he wasn't able to keep up with Joe O'Neill, who makes his 2nd reception of the ball game, and this time for a 1st down. And Bates with the lofted pass wobbled just a little bit, but he put it right where it needed to be, right on the hands, and a 1st down for Unity, and I believe they're first of the ball game, right?
Yes,
Come on,
correct.
wake up.
That's correct.
Are you
tabulating?
Are you so cold? Do we need to send you back to Texas to warm up, or what? Here, you're shivering. It's not even that cold yet. Wait till we get to near the end of the season. At midfield, 1st and 10 for Unity. Bates looking over the defense, taking his time. I formation in the backfield behind him. One receiver wide to the right side. He'll drop straight back, being flushed out of the pocket. Gets away from a couple defenders, rolls out to the left. Now he's going to run with the football, but it's hit by Helton. No, he stays on his feet and runs for a 1st down out of bounds near the 40. Helton had him 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage momentarily, but Bates, good athlete, stayed on his feet and got another 1st down for the Rockets. And the Rockets now starting to come back a little bit, regaining some confidence that obviously I'm sure they lost a little bit of during that first quarter of play, especially after that 2nd touchdown by Clinton.
Another fine play by Bates. He stayed in the pocket, eluded the rush from Tom Meyer, got to the left sideline. Looked like he might be knocked out of bounds for little or no gain, but like Nichols, stayed along the sideline there and got a nice pickup.
They're at the 39 of the Maroons. They'll try the run up the middle, a couple yards on the play before it's cut down. The running back, Eric Temple. And Temple just got maybe 2 on the play before he's cut down. Matt Parson on the play for the Maroons. 2nd and a long 8 coming up for the Rockets now as they move it into Maroons territory. We're 1 minute into the second quarter of play. If you've joined us late, the Maroons with 2 touchdowns. One on a quarterback keeper by Nate Sams, the other on a great run after a catch of a Nate Sams pass by the veteran player for the Maroons, Ben Nichols. 46 yards. There's a fumble on the play, and the Maroons have it. There's also a penalty flag on the play. Let's wait and see what it is. Josh Carter's come up with a loose ball on the run, but let's wait and see what the penalty is also and make sure they're going to keep it. The official waving that the Maroons will have the football in the recovery by Carter. I didn't see who sprung the ball loose. And did they pick up the flag? I believe they picked up the flag, and there will be no penalty call on the play, and the Maroons will take over at the 38-yard line. Sometimes they throw something out there to spot where the ball initially came loose. I don't know if that's why the flag came out or not, but anyway, the Maroons have it, no penalty, and they've got the ball back on a turnover by the Rockets. That quiets down the home crowd, who was starting to liven up a little bit when they started to move the ball. Parson into the middle of the line, very little gain. Got about a yard on the play. I think the big question for the Maroons for this entire season will be, how well will Matt Parson hold up during the entire course of the season? I know he's a very well-conditioned young man in very good shape. He's not all that big, though, at least not certainly in stature and height. And he's going to take a pounding game in and game out, running the ball at the fullback position and playing linebacker on defense. I'll get your comments in a second, Cameron. Here's the second down play. Carter trying to get inside of a tackler. Finally pulled away from him, but they slowed him up enough. Very little gain on the second down play. What about Matt Parson?
Yeah, the coaches were concerned. As most people know, Parson was considered for the starting quarterback job this year, but they thought that the strain of an injury, possibly losing your middle linebacker and your quarterback was just a little too much to handle. And not that the fullback doesn't get pounded any, but if you can keep a quarterback just at quarterback, you're helping your team considerably.
Sam throwing on 3rd down and 9, going deep and overshot his man, Chad Herzog, flying down the right sideline on the far side of the field. Hey, he aired it out pretty well there, but overshot Herzog, who was flying as fast as he could. It dropped incomplete near the 40-yard line of Unity.
Yeah, Sam showed a good arm there, and more importantly, he gave Herzog a chance to catch the ball, and there was very little chance of an interception there. Had it been an interception, it would have been much like a long punt. So, good play calling on the part of the Clinton coaching staff.
4th down and about 8 or 9 yards to go for a first down, and the Maroons are going to have to burn a timeout. They need to punt here, and Nichols was in there, and I think ready to go, but for some reason there was a delay by the Maroons to get up to the line of scrimmage. We'll keep it right here on this brief break as Coach Chuck Nagel, head coach and the defensive coordinator still for the Maroons, handling those chores, is out there on the field now talking things over with his team, and the Unity squad, as you can see on the television replay here, huddling also with their players on the field also before we see this punt by the Maroons. We're down to 9 minutes and 34 seconds to go before halftime. Clinton leading by a score of 14-0, and so far so good in this game as far as turnovers go. Also, Cameron, last week the Maroons only had the 1 turnover, the forced pass by Nate Sams in the 4th quarter play that went for an interception. But still, and I shouldn't even bring it up, I better knock on some wood here, no fumbles by the Maroons and no interceptions in this ball game. Hope they can keep it up.
Yeah.
It's a
real hard to argue with that.
Nichols with the ball, under some pressure, but gets the kick away. A line drive kick, fair catch is called for right at the 35-yard line, and no return. Eric Temple might have had some room to run with it, but he waved the hand real quick. And so Unity will start 1st and 10 at their own 35. They're going to spot it closer to the 36-yard line in Unity territory, and still plenty of time to go in the second quarter of play, 9 minutes and 29 seconds. You're listening to Clinton Maroon football action here live on WHOW-FM Clinton, Illinois, and also watching it here on the replay on Clinton Cable TV Channel 7. Larry Dooling, along with Cameron Mon, who hopefully will get the shivers out here and warm up and be ready to go. Bateson on a delayed pitch. They string it out, and the Maroons are going to drop him for a loss as they swarm under the ball carrier for Unity, who is Jason Dancy, I believe. He's just a sophomore, and he got caught in a bad place at a bad time. Bates was almost tackled on the play before that, and he had to give up the football, and then Dancy couldn't go anywhere, and the Maroons drop him for about a 5, almost 6-yard loss on the play back to near the 30-yard line.
I'd like to take this moment real quick just to say that if you're watching this on Cable Channel 7, at the halftime show, there'll be features on seniors Andy Curley, sponsored by First Mutual Bank, and Doug Hammer, sponsored by Rudisill and Rudisill.
Broken play, and Bates is going to eat it for a big loss. He wanted to hand it off, and then he found himself nowhere to go. I'm surprised he didn't just kick it in high gear and try to run out of there. But he was looking for the ball carrier to hand it off to, and nobody was there, and he was caught from behind and knocked down by Doug Hammer for another big loss from near the 30-yard line. About an 8-yard loss, Cameron, back toward about the 22-yard line. So they've got 3rd down and a bunch. 3rd down and over 20 to go for a first down. Almost close to 25, and with that, Unity's going to take a timeout. Well, we'll take a break here, all leading 14-0. Still 8:26 to play in the second quarter of play, and Unity with a 3rd down and long to go. They've got to get it all the way out close to midfield for a first down, and they botch it off on the handoff in the backfield, and it'll be another loss on the play. Bates and Temple collided in the backfield, and a loss of about 4 or 5 more yards. They're now inside the 20. They started at the 36-yard line on 1st and 10 and lost yardage on every play. An option right that lost yardage, then a missed handoff apparently on the second play that lost a lot of yardage, and now 5 more yards lost when the quarterback and running back ran into each other in the backfield on that play. Unity's back to the 18-yard line in their own territory, and 1 man deep for the Maroons near midfield is Chad Herzog. He's actually near the 46-yard line in Unity territory, awaiting the punt. Big rush by the Maroons. They don't get it, though, and Herzog will field it at the 40. He missed it. He might have touched it. Loose ball. Unity's got it. Unity's got it near the 49 of Clinton as Chad Herzog misplayed the punt. He touched the football, and Unity has recovered. Hustling down was Jason Dancy to make the recovery. So the first big break of the ball game for the Rockets will give them the football in Maroons territory at the 49-yard line.
Looks like Clinton went for the block there. Looks like about 8, 9, maybe even 10 people up for the punt, and they might have been lucky that they didn't rough the punter anyway. Herzog couldn't get a handle on the ball. It rolled by him, and a smart heads-up play by Unity Special Teams.
Might fire up their offense. It struggled. On first down, they get a couple of yards. Nichols on the play. The initial hit made by Parson. Reinhardt, the ball carrier, got maybe just a yard on the play. Second down and 9. Herzog tried to kind of short hop that ball. He found himself in no man's land. He charged in, but then didn't quite get to the football, and then he tried to kind of short hop it, and it brushed his shoulder as it bounced past, and that gave it open season for Unity to pounce on that ball. And
Chad, an excellent punt returner, not to take anything away from him, but he made a mistake there, and hopefully Clinton's defense can come back and pick him up.
Nice quick pass over the middle to Steve Hall. The completion made, and they're close to a first down as Bates whipped it over the middle. And a good catch by Hall. Immediate tackle made by the Maroons, and they're very close to a first down inside the 40-yard line at about the 39-yard line of the Maroons, and the officials are going to stop things and measure here. Clock's down to 6 minutes and 53 seconds. Well, the Maroons have a 2-touchdown lead, and they were looking very good here during the first quarter of play and early in the second quarter of play, and had been helped by Unity botching up their offense, but this fumble near midfield on the attempted punt return might have given some fire to the Rockets. They're going to be short of the first down by a couple of inches. And if they put a touchdown on the board, we've got ourselves a new ball game. This one is not out of reach by any means, especially if they can score on this possession.
Yeah, you feel a momentum shift going. I think the fumble has helped Unity here. The fans seem to be a little more into the game, the players on the game, and Clinton's defense is going to have to pick it up for the Maroons now.
Third down and just about half a yard. We'll see if Bates is going to quarterback keep it here for the first down. He's a big, tall, strong young man, and he will do that, and he's got the first down. He's kind of grabbed from behind, but he's got the first down as he swung back after he got the needed yardage for the first down. Got it to, they're going to give him forward progress to the 38-yard line. First down for the Rockets. No surprise there. Oh, the chain gang went a little too far. There they go. They're back where they're supposed to be. So from the 38, almost the 37.5. First down out of the I formation. Bates under center. Has the football. He wants to pass. Pump fakes. Steps up in the pocket. Lost it down the right sideline. Catch is made and a touchdown. I tell you what, I know I'm prejudiced, but I saw Joe O'Neill, who made the catch, give Adam Long a little shove just before the ball got there, but it goes for fair game and a fair play. He makes the catch and takes it in for the touchdown. A 38-yard touchdown pass from Bates
38-yard pass play
to O'Neill for the touchdown, and Unity's on the board as we thought. The turnover gives them new life, and they get the score on the board on the touchdown pass.
I'll give credit to Justin Bates there. He stepped up in the pocket. The line protected well for him, gave him a little pocket there as he rolled out to the right again, which he likes to do. He stepped up and he got a hit. He released the ball about as late as he could before getting hit. Again, a perfectly thrown pass, and a Unity receiver there for the catch and the nice run afterward.
They're going to make it look like they're going to kick for the extra point. The placement is down, and the kick has plenty of distance, and it is good. So Unity's right back in this ball game. They trail by only a touchdown. Our scorers will take a break here. With 6 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the second quarter of play is Clinton 14 and Unity 7.
Lewis, do you use a JTPA system to hire employees?
Get back to the Maroons now, near the midway point of the second quarter. Very short kick. That'll be taken by Helton from the 25, 30-yard line. Bulls forward, and is met at the 35-yard line. And that's where Clinton will start this drive, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. And the home crowd here, just outside Tolono, on the north edge of Tolono, is alive again now. Their team is back in it. It's a 14-7 Clinton lead. But that 38-yard touchdown pass from Bates to O'Neill has brought them back to life, no doubt about it.
First down, 10 yards to go for the Maroons. Ball at their own 35-yard.
Let's see if Clinton can resume their offensive ways as they did earlier in this ball game. Now in this possession, Parson will get the call on first down and gets a couple yards, taking it right up the middle, staying with the game plan. You know, Brian Knutson last week calling the offensive plays, I thought did a real fine job. I heard a lot of comments from a lot of different people complimenting his play calling last week.
Well, obviously, diversity is the key word here. Clinton runs, I would say, an equal amount to the left, right, and up the middle, and mix in a few passes, a few options, and there's a lot of things for defenses to cover. And I know Clinton coaches always worried about covering option-type plays like this.
Option right, Sam's with a great pitch. Josh Carter around the right corner. He's got lots of yardage. It's already to the 40-yard line, and O'Neill takes him down near the 35 of Unity. That was that same play that went for the touchdown last week, the option right where Sam's made the last second pitch for the 12-yard touchdown run against Olympia. This time it goes for a lot more yardage, and it gets the Maroons into Unity territory to the 35-yard line.
Exactly, Larry. Excellent pitch by Nate. He made the right decision. Carter didn't have anyone to get around. He just ran to the sidelines. Eventually he was run down. I got him for a 32-yard gain there.
Inside the 35 near the 34. Sams will hand it off. Parsons got an opening this time, takes it right up the middle, and then is chopped down after a 5-6-yard gain. He's inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line before the big fullback's brought down.
For the Rockets, number 50, Jason Morphle, and number
Gain of about 6 yards on the play. Well, actually closer to 7. 2nd and 3 coming up. You know, there's a past fine fullback that ran just like that for the Maroons, who's on the coaching staff here at Unity, Bob Case. Bob did a great job running just like that and picking up a lot of yardage back in the mid-70s, or mid-80s, I should say. I don't want to date him too much. Sams is sacked on the play, looking to pass. He didn't have an open man. He had to eat the football, and it's a loss on the play back to the original line of scrimmage. A loss of about 7 on the play as they'll spot it back to the 34-yard line. But I did want to mention Bob Case on the coaching staff here still this year, as he has been the last few years here at Unity. And obviously he's in attendance. I think he's up on top of the box here, viewing the game from up there and maybe sending down some plays from up there to the coaching staff on the sideline. 3rd down and almost 10 for the Maroons now. Again, option right. Sam's keeping. Got some running room. He spins and gets within a couple yards of the first down as he kept it. Last week, he pitched the ball for the most part when he ran the option, but he has kept the ball about 3 times so far on the option, and it's gone for good yardage.
I can't tell you how nice of a play that is by Nate. He could get a little greedy there and try to make a dangerous pitch, but he sees that he gets 8 yards and it's going to be 4th and short, and there's no sense in throwing the ball on the ground. He gets the nice 8-yard gain, gives Clinton a chance to keep this drive going instead of pitching and maybe making a bad pitch.
4th down and a long yard. Nate trying to draw him off sides. Cannot do so. He'll use a timeout. He'll use a timeout. They didn't go for it this time as they did near midfield back in the first quarter play. They kept the second, I believe it was the second touchdown drive alive. That penalty helped the Maroons out at that time, but not this time. So Maroons will use a timeout. We're down to 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go before halftime. Clinton leading by 7, so obviously another score here by the Maroons would help immensely going into the locker room at halftime, Cameron.
Yeah, no doubt. It would maybe nullify that Tolono score, or excuse me, Unity score.
And take some wind out of their sails because they got the momentum back on their side with that play.
Yeah, I think the key play in this drive has been the Carter option play to the right where Josh just had all kinds of field to run to and made a nice plus 30-yard gain on it.
Maroons are up to the line of scrimmage. Timeout is over. 4th down and a long yard, and he'll hand it off, and Carter will try the right side. He's got the first down and more. He barrels down very close to the 20-yard line. He's going to just be outside of the 20, near the 21. But it is a first down for the Maroons. That was close to a 5-yard gain, as it turned out, for the Maroons. Carter with the run.
Yeah, Clinton gave him a little power eye right look, and Josh just blasted it off right tackle there behind the big guys, Curley and Hammer, and nice pickup for Clinton, and keeps the drive moving with a little over 3.5 minutes left.
Out of the eye again. Sams will hand it off. Parson breaks an ankle tackle behind the line of scrimmage and gets good yardage up the middle. Still on his feet. He won't go down. Finally, he does. And about another 7-yard gain by Matt Parson. Taking a lot of hits, but he keeps on going, and we'll see how many yards he gets on the play. As the officials stop, he's very close to a first down. I didn't realize he got that much yardage, but he's all the way down close to the 11-yard line and only about a half-yard short of a first down.
Yeah, it could have easily been a 2-yard loss, but Matt slipped an ankle tackle back there in the backfield, and they're even going to measure this one, I guess. I thought he had about 7 yards, but
that's what I thought.
Like they gave him a good spotting there.
They'll bring the sticks out, and we'll get a look at the measurement. And it's easier to see it on TV than it is looking out the window. I'll tell you that right now. Even with the color blinking on and off on a monitor. It's going to be short by about the length of the football. So it'll be, let's see, what down are we? 2nd down. That was a first down play. 2nd down and very short for a first down as the Maroons are at the 11 of Unity with 3:15 to play. And Unity's going to take a timeout here. Well, we'll take a break also. As we approach halftime, that side, see where they spot it. I think he's close to the 4-yard first down. So he wants to run away from me here at halftime and make another phone call, check things out, make sure, she's breathing properly. No, she's not in labor yet, right? No, you wouldn't be here if she was, right?
Hopefully not.
What was the due date? Today's what, the 10th?
The due date's the 13th, actually.
Oh, you got plenty of time. First and goal for the Maroons near the 4. Sams will hand it off. Carter hit from behind, but keeps going, and then is stopped short. Oh, he's in for the touchdown. I thought he was stopped short, but the last second, again, the officials throw the arms in the air, and Carter's in, just crossed the goal line for the touchdown. A 4-yard run by Josh Carter, and the Maroons have upped their lead now, again, to a 2-touchdown difference. They're up by a score of 20-7 on that touchdown here with 2:53 to go in the second quarter of play. Good, strong run, power football, as you said, and it's working well so far tonight.
Right off the right side of the line there behind Andy Curley and Doug Hammer. I believe Doug Hammer was in on that series. Again, nothing fancy about it. Just a good hard dive play off the right guard tackle.
Jeremy Hinton will try the extra point attempt. Placement's down. Low line drive kick, and it doesn't have a chance. It drops well short. It what? Hey, somebody put the window in front of me here, and I didn't think it had a chance to make it. It got through there, Cameron?
Well, it has to go over that crossbar right there and in between the two
Well, I couldn't
ones.
see for the window here. What happened?
When it goes in between the two vertical ones and over the crossbar.
I understand that part, but look here, windowsill in my right here.
I thought you maybe
Here,
made
turn
the
that
call
camera
there.
around and show everybody. No, you don't have to
Made
do
the call
that.
there a little quick, Larry.
Well, when it left his foot, it looked like it was going to hit somebody in the head.
Well, regardless, the kick is good. Wasn't pretty, but it's 21-7 for Clinton, and that's the important thing.
All right, you haven't been perfect tonight yourself. You know that.
What did I do wrong? I don't.
Well, watch
there a mistake
the
yet?
replay next week, and you hear yourself. That's right, Larry. Okay, 21-7. The Maroons up by 2 touchdowns again. The kick was good by Jeremy Hinton. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'll buy you a Coke or something to make up for that. I am terribly embarrassed. He's set to kick it off, and the Rockets will get another shot at it here. Just under 3 minutes to go. Long, good, end-over-end kick taken about the 10-yard line by Reinhardt. He's back up across the 15, 20. There's a flag on the play. This one thrown in the vicinity of the tackle, and maybe we have a blocking mistake made by Unity. We'll wait and see.
That's usually the call when the ref from the sideline over there throws it right toward the middle of the field, and I believe that's what we're going to get.
We'll see. Here's the preliminary signal. It is a clip against the Rockets. So that'll move them back from where they thought they were going to start this drive. Well, with the exception of the fumbled punt, I guess, is the best way to put it. We don't want to hammer on that too much because one of the few mistakes that Chad Herzog has made in his high school football career, but that one he did misjudge. It got away and gave Unity some new life, but with the exception of that play, and then they were able to hit on the touchdown pass play to O'Neal to get their 7 points on the board. The Maroons have pretty well controlled this first half of play, and that's why they lead by 14 right now, 21-7.
Well, again, just to stand up for Herzog, they had the punt rush on, so he had no blocking back, and
That's
maybe
right.
that guy got there a little quick.
He's up, tackled him in the end. Pushing Bates and forcing him deeper and deeper, and before he knew it, he was in the end zone. The line of scrimmage, by the way, was the 13-yard line, and the Maroons have their second safety of the year, and they've got 2 more points on the board. I'm running out of room on my paper to write down this stuff. Comes with 2:33 to go before halftime. Now 2 more points for the Maroons, and they're going to get possession of the football too, just like last week.
Again, left in for Clinton, saw the play developing and just rushed in, and Ben, with his athletic ability, was just all over Justin before he had a time. Justin, if he sees Ben, he might be able to elude him there, but Ben took the good pursuit angle on him, and Justin didn't really have much of a chance back there, and it'll be a safety for Clinton and a 23-7 lead.
That's right. With 2:33 to go before halftime. And Unity from their own 20-yard line will kick the ball back to the Maroons. I tell you what, you go ahead, as soon as the first half's over, you hand me your stats, you go make a phone call, and I want a full report on what the status is, okay, when you get back. We'll have time at halftime. We'll have another one of those scholastic updates for you with one of the students at Clinton High School, so be with us for that. That is, though, for those of you listening to the live broadcast on the radio. On television, as Cameron mentioned earlier, we're going to have a couple senior profiles of some of the senior football players, Andy Curley and Doug Hammer, being featured tonight, presented by First Mutual Bank and Rudisill and Rudisill. Here's the low-line drive kickoff. Helton touched it. It goes through the legs of Parson. Back at the 30-yard line, Parson will pick it up and bring it back. 35 and brought down at the 40. You know, quite often you see teams punt in that situation, but they decided to tee it up and kick it off, and it worked out well for Unity. They were able to put the Maroons about as deep as they could expect.
It looks like one of the Clinton upmen went for the ball. He may have deflected a little bit, and I think that may have been what caused it to get by the the two deep backs. But Matt made a nice play there too. A lot of people might just fall on the ball in the 30, but I think Matt realized he had plenty of time to pick it up, and he advanced it 10 yards instead. So Clinton starts in a reasonable position to get another scoring drive going.
Yeah, how hungry are they? They're going to go with it on the ground. Parson right up the middle, across the 45 to about the 46-yard line, a gain of a quick 6. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Bruins. They've got 2 minutes to see if they can put a few more points on the board. They already have scored 23, which of course by far goes past what they scored last week, 17 points. Maroons defense has allowed 1 touchdown a game so far, but we still have another half of football coming up, so a lot of things could change as far as that goes. On 2nd and 4, Parson again, first down. He's across midfield and gets a couple more yards as he stays on his feet. There is a flag on the play, however, and we might have a penalty coming up against the Maroons. Right about the 50-yard line where Matt was going across midfield to collect the first down, we see a flag laying there right in the middle of the field. And the officials are looking for a Unity captain. It's a holding penalty against the Maroons. I think that's the first holding penalty this year against the Maroons, in my recollection.
I believe so, too.
In the first game and a half of the year. The offensive line has done very well in the first 2 games, and we have seen very few penalties thrown against the Maroons in those first 6 quarters that we've watched so far. We're down to a minute 42. That nullifies the first down, obviously, for the Maroons, and it's going to put them back close to the 40-yard line again. That's a 10-yard. 10-yard penalty on a holding. So it will be 2nd down, remains 2nd down, and just over 10 yards to go for a first down for the Maroons. That run by Parson brought back. It was about another 6-yard gain for Matt, but that one has to be wiped off the books.
Be interesting to see the play calling here. Clinton definitely doesn't want to give Unity a chance to score here, but again, Clinton would like to push in to score themselves.
From the
Looks
power
like they'll keep
eye,
on the ground.
Carter breaks the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but doesn't get too much more. It slowed it down enough that the pursuit was able to catch him after a gain of maybe a couple of yards at the 42-yard line. 3rd down and 8 coming up now for the Clinton Maroons, who are leading by a couple of touchdowns and now a safety, 23-7. We'll have a lot to recap for you at halftime, including Cameron's phone call to home to find out, is the baby on the way yet?
I'll get some good sideline interviews, though, during some live on-the-spot stuff.
Sams is going to pass, lofting it high in the air for Nichols. He has to turn around, and he can't get to it. It's over his left shoulder and out of bounds. Bates had coverage, and he was shoulder pad to shoulder pad with Ben. Pretty good coverage there by Bates, the quarterback on offense, but a good secondary man on defense also for the Rockets.
Nice pass by Nate again. Again, you know, he's 2 for 6 tonight. But he's put a couple balls out there and given receivers chances to run under him, and he's showing a good arm.
And making sure no chance for interception.
Exactly.
At the same time.
You intercept the ball there, and you're not going to run it back for a touchdown.
Maroons will line up the punt. Nichols is standing at his own 30 with 57 seconds to go in the half. Rockets have 1 deep man and then a short man only about 10 yards down the field. Good kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 30-yard line by Unity's Temple, Eric Temple. So Unity will have 52 seconds to see what they want to do with the football here before we reach halftime. Pretty nice night for football. This is, you know, football-type weather here in Illinois, Cameron. It's a little chilly. It was breezy. I don't know if the winds dropped down now or not.
The flag doesn't appear to be moving too much, Larry. That'd be our first indication.
Well, I can't. The windowsill. We see this post. It's in front of the goal post, and it's also in front of the American flag.
I see.
I guess you did say you were going to dish it out here a little bit, didn't you? You warned me about that.
It is. I do. I will admit, being a dumb Texan here, and usually we can put up the coats till about December. But you think after a couple of years I'd learn. But
well, let's
I
recap
seem
this
to
a
be
little
one
bit.
of the few people here without a jacket.
Well, you're in the booth, so you're not in too bad a shape. But you are from Texas, but Texas is a very big state from what I understand, Cameron. I mean, I've seen it on a map once in a while, a weather map or something, I don't know. But anyway, Dallas area, is that where home is for you?
That would be correct.
Oh, lengthy interview here, okay.
What would you like to know about Dallas?
What part of Dallas?
They're going to be Buffalo.
Are you from
Sunday?
You from the city?
I'm from the city of Dallas.
The city of Dallas.
Yeah, long time resident there.
And the wife is from Houston.
She is, and we moved up here to Illinois a couple years ago when she got a job with State Farm, and we've enjoyed it tremendously.
All right, 1st and 10 for Unity from their own 30-yard line, and they'll try it on the ground, and nothing there, nothing at all. Maroons have that one read from the start, it appears. And just for the record, just for the record, you know, so we can set the stage for the arrival of the baby when that happens. How did you guys meet? College, I assume.
Yeah, in a class in college.
And you went to school
Texas Tech
where?
University.
Which is located where in Texas?
In Lubbock, Texas. It's a big state. The Alexanders of Clinton would know where Lubbock, Texas is. I know they have some relatives there. Maybe no one else would know.
Second and 11. Bates rolling out right, looking over the middle, lost it high in the air, and almost intercepted by Bob Igems. Bobby Igems, the young sophomore safety for the Maroons, had his hands on the football, but couldn't come up with it. Where is Lubbock in relation to Dallas and or Houston?
Due west of Dallas, about 350 miles. Maybe if you knew anything about the little baby Jessica in the well a couple of years ago.
Yes, I do. I remember
little
that.
north of there.
That. Several years ago.
Lubbock's located a little north of there.
Okay, that's very helpful. You majored in journalism, I assume.
That's correct. You couldn't tell?
No, I couldn't tell. Bates lofting it high in the air for O'Neal. Got one hand on it, but couldn't pull it in. And here's a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage well after the pass was thrown. 13 seconds on the clock till halftime. So you majored in journalism, and Suzanne majored in what?
Making money.
No, more seriously, what, a business degree, or what are we talking here?
Finance and computer science, actually.
All right, so we've got almost entire history here.
Have we lost any viewers yet, do you think, Larry?
I did this with Dan King a few years ago. We got the story of Maine from him. He's not from Maine originally, but he lived in Maine for a while. That was interesting. So we go from Maine to Texas. Wait till the second half. We'll have more interesting facts for you. The penalty was against Unity. Declined by the Maroons, so it's 4th down and long, and Unity will appear to be in position to punt the football back to the Maroons with only 13 seconds left.
Might be a good opportunity to go for the block here. You never know what's going to happen.
They don't have as many on the line this time. They were coming after it, and the kick goes almost straight up in the air, comes down. It hits the Unity player in the back, and the Maroons jump on the football. I'll have to double check and see who that was for Clinton that jumped on the football. Very short punt.
Doug Hammer falls
Doug
on the
Hammer.
ball. Kind of a dangerous play there by Doug, but maybe he saved a few seconds. And I don't know why Clinton couldn't throw the ball deep into the end zone here and see maybe something good could happen.
Well, they're going to be at the 32-yard line of Unity after that short kick. The rush obviously did hurry out the kick and force the punter to kick it almost straight up in the air. It wasn't straight up in the air. It carried downfield, I don't know, 15, 20 yards. But hit one of his coverage men in the shoulder pads in the back, and it bounced back about 5 yards when Hammer jumped on it. They use their final timeout here. At least I assume this is the final timeout. I would have to believe it has to be. 4 seconds left in the half. The Maroons, I guess we haven't mentioned for a while, are leading 23-7 in this ball game. They've led from the start, 7-0, then 14-0, and then 14-7 as Unity scored on a touchdown pass to get within a touchdown. But Maroons came right back on their next possession and went up 21-7, and then a safety made it 23-7. We'll recap it more thoroughly at halftime for you on how all the scoring occurred. So a chance for probably one play here. Sam says I formation.
Look for a lob to Ben Nichols deep in the left corner.
Rolling out right, looking deep downfield. He's got a man down there. It's almost intercepted. Herzog was the intended receiver, as going in front of him and breaking it up was Eric Temple. Temple actually tipped it up in the air. Herzog still had a chance at it, but couldn't come up with the football near the 10. And that is the first half. It took us a while to get there. The second quarter took quite a while, but we are at halftime. And so far, so good for the Clinton Maroons. They lead by 16 by a score of 23-7. We'll be back with our halftime recap for you in a moment.
Early. Andy, a 6-foot, 270-pound senior, is an offensive defensive tackle for CHS this season. As the Maroons move through their second game of the season, Andy is proving that his size and power is giving him an edge on the field. By giving 110% on every play, Andy will be able to continue opening big holes for the Maroon backfield. He's one of Clinton's hardest hitters this year, and head coach Chuck Nagel says Andy's strength will play a key role in pulling the Maroons football team toward a winning season.
Andy Curley, offensive defensive tackle. Andy started there last year, did a good job for us. He's one of our bigger kids. He dresses out about 270 pounds, about 6 foot tall. Andy played some defensive tackle for us last year, and we think between him and Kyle Bourne and Doug Scott will be able to rotate those kids through and keep them fresh.
Good luck to Andy Curley, another of Clinton High School's outstanding football seniors.
All right, back here at Unity High School, we're at halftime where the Clinton Maroons are leading the Unity Rockets by a score of 23-7. Good first half of play for the Maroons here in their second game and a second non-conference game of the year.
Maroon football senior profile for the week spotlights number 68, Doug Hammer. Doug is one of Clinton's starting guards. At 5'10", 180 pounds, Doug is one of the Maroons' mightiest players. He's got speed on his side and is a returning Letterman this year. Head coach Chuck Nagel says Doug's consistency in his position is an essential element in the Maroons' potential to a winning season.
Doug Hammer is a starting guard for us. He'll rotate in with Tommy Meyer, and they did that all last year. Dougie also on our offensive line, those two guys probably are two smaller kids, but what they lack in size, they make up in speed. Dougie will also probably play defensive nose tackle for us.
We're looking forward to seeing a lot more of Doug on the field this season, and as the Maroons move on this week to battle Warrensburg-Latham, Doug's consistent effort will be a key to allowing the Maroon offense to control the line of scrimmage and the game. Best of luck to Doug Hammer in this 1993 season of Clinton Maroon football.
As we come back here live and return to things here at Unity High School, we look out on the football field. We see Chuck Nagel talking things over with one of the officials just before we get the second half underway. And on TV, we were getting a shot of the Maroons along the sideline getting fired up for the second half of action. Now you see Chuck talking with one of the officials. I'm not sure what the conversation's about, but he seems to be wanting to make a point about something to, well, now a couple members of the officiating crew here at Unity. Really, the Maroons, with a good first half of play, have not been penalized too much during this first half of play. There was one holding call that we recall. But other than that, the Maroons really so far this year, and a game and a half of action so far this year, have not been called for too many penalties. They've stayed away from turnovers. We did have the one turnover during that first half of play when the attempted punt return by Chad Herzog glanced off his shoulder and was recovered by Unity. And that technically is the first fumble of the year by the Maroons. Well, that conversation has ended between Chuck Nagel and the officials. And Jeremy Hinton will tee up the ball at his own 40-yard line, and we'll play another 24 minutes of football here at Unity to see if the Rockets can come back or if the Maroons can maintain right now their 23-7 lead, or maybe build on it and go home with a second victory on the year. Starting the season with 3 straight games on the road. They won the first one at Olympia. I'll be interested in seeing how Olympia did tonight. I think they've got a very fine football team. They're playing Knoxville tonight, and it'd be nice to see them get in the win column. Hinton set to go, and we're underway with the second half of action. The end-over-end kick will travel down to about the 24-yard line. Unity will get a return on it, get a little bit of an opening, cut it outside, and near midfield on the return, Brant Smith spun down on a tackle up near the shoulder pads at the 48-yard line. Good return for Unity, and they'll get good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. One thing we want to mention here, for those of you watching the television replay, you might notice that we are very descriptive. We're doing a lot of talking here, describing a lot of action out there, and that's obviously for our radio listeners. We got to be as descriptive as possible for those listening live on the radio. And here on first down, Unity will get a few yards up the middle. Ball carrier is met right at the line of scrimmage, but kept his feet and got a few yards on the play as David Yoakley in there. A gain of about almost 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 coming up. So we're kind of unable, since we're doing radio and TV at the same time, to do more of a television play-by-play where we'd let the pictures do more of the talking and just kind of tell you who it is that's doing what out there instead of telling you exactly what they're doing. But still nice to have the television replay. Here's Yoakley again. Another 3 yards or so. He's knocked down inside the 45-yard line, about the 44. They'll have a 3rd down and about 2 coming up. Unity trying to get fired up to start the second half, trailing by a couple of touchdowns, but trying to get back in the ball game, and they're going to go with a little power football here to start the second half, and it's picked up almost 8 yards on the first 2 plays. I formation. Bates, the quarterback, awaiting the snap, has the football, will give it off, tailback up the middle. Reinhardt's got the first down, almost had it stripped away, then Helton grabs on the ankles and brings him down at the 40-yard line, but it's enough for a first down. 3 running plays, and Unity has the first down at the 40-yard line. Helton on the tackle, as we said. 1st and 10 for Unity. They're now at the Maroons' 40-yard line. We played about 1 minute and 10 seconds into the 3rd quarter of play. We understand that Monticello playing St. Joe Ogden is trailing 13-0 at halftime of their ball game. We'll see Monticello in 2 weeks. Here's Yoakley, good strong run. Igins having to hang on, and Yoakley with a good power run Gets very close to a first down, and I believe he probably has it. We'll see what the spot is, but he's down to the 30-yard line, and they give him the first down, a 10-yard carry by Oakley. The rushing offense of Unity, non-existent during the first half of play, is there here so far in the third quarter of play as Oakley, with some good second and third effort there from his fullback spot, firing up this football team a bit. Again, out of the eye. Reinhardt will get the call, running behind Oakley. Gets a block, but only gets a couple of yards. And Ben Helton is hurting down there on the field. He took a shot at the line of scrimmage trying to make the play, and Ben's got the helmet off. As you can see on TV, has the helmet off, and he's thrashing around down there. He is in some pain. So Ben will be attended to here in just a moment. That stops play with 10 minutes and 17 seconds ago. It was a gain of maybe 3 yards on the play. Unity obviously getting a talking to in the locker room at halftime, and they're coming out, they're wanting to make some hits and getting on the scoreboard here. Trailing 23-7, they want to get momentum back in their favor. They had it for just a brief period of time early in the second quarter of play when they scored their only touchdown during this first half of action, but now into the second half of play. They started this drive after a good kickoff return at their own 48-yard line. They've moved it to the 27 now, and we'll have a second down and 7 coming up. Hopefully the injury to Ben Helton not a serious one. They're still attending to him right now as he went down near the line of scrimmage, about the 30-yard line, maybe the 29-yard line, here toward the near side of the field. Things have weather-wise, wind-wise, really settled down during the daylight hours. That wind was a pretty brisk one out of the west, but not much of a wind, and the wind would have been to the back of the team moving the ball in the direction that the Rockets are right now, toward the east, from west to east, but they really aren't aided much by any kind of breeze right now. You know, as we look at Ben Helton on the field right now, we are reminded by the fact that so far during the first game and the first half of this game, the Maroons have gotten through basically injury-free, very healthy. Ben's now sitting up, assisted into a sitting position on the field. They're talking to him right now. So hopefully this one not a serious injury also, and the Maroons can continue to be a healthy football team. They've got some key guys out there that they really can't afford to go down to injury. Ben Helton's certainly a key man to this football team. Seeing some playing time at tight end on offense, especially when they go to a double tight end offensive formation, and one of the starting linebackers on defense, so he'll have to be replaced at a linebacker spot, and the Maroons will make that change. They've got a good guy to back him up, though, a young man who doesn't have a lot of varsity experience, but he's a hitter. Jeff Wilson, a 165-pound junior wearing 31, will come into the ball game. Helton walking off with some assistance, but not really favoring either leg or anything like that, so hopefully he'll be back a little bit later on. We'll just have to wait and see on that, but by the looks of that, maybe not a real serious injury. Unity will try to resume their momentum here. They've gotten a couple of first downs. They have 2nd and 7 out of the I formation again. Bates takes a snap, hands it off the fullback. Oakley, head down, got a couple of yards, but only a couple. And Parson trying to get his defense fired back up there. Matt Parson out there. He gives a whack on the head of Jeff Wilson, who was in on the tackle. Jeff just checked in there at the linebacker spot, and he's in there to help out now. Cut him down after a gain of maybe a yard or two. It's 3rd down and a long 5 now. The ball spotted. I believe it's near the 25-yard line. They've got to get it to the 20 to get another first down. They're in Maroons territory. Bates again will hand it off. Oakley hit at the line of scrimmage, still plowing forward, and the Maroons corral him. He might have got another yard. Somebody hit him behind the line of scrimmage that slowed down his momentum, and then the Maroons were able to swarm him under. A couple of guys there for the Maroons. Meyer was in on the tackle, and he was aided by Doug Scott. And a gain of maybe a yard. They've got a 4th down and 4. It's 4-down territory here for Unity, so they'll try to keep it alive. O'Neal, watch out for him. He's wide to the right side. He's a good target to throw to. Bates might roll out right and try to throw to him. Out of the eye, no, they'll keep it on the ground, and Reinhardt looking for a hole. He's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage and tackled. It's Tom Meyer again. He's still playing good football, just like he did last week against Olympia. From his end spot, he played off the block and then grabbed a hold of the leg of Reinhardt and brought him down. And for no gain, matter of fact, maybe a loss of almost a yard on the play, the Maroons will take over between the 24 and 25-yard line. And, boy, the momentum switches back now possibly here to the Maroons. Certainly that takes some wind out of the sails of the Rockets, who came out of the locker room at halftime and wanted to get back into this ball game. Now the Maroons offense. Parson on 1st down, pulling a man, gets a couple of yards. Had a man around his ankles trying to hang on with Steve Hall. He pulled away from him, but slowed him down enough to let Unity catch up with him and drop him after a couple of yards. About a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 coming up. The Maroons now to the 28-yard line in their own territory. Third quarter action, Clinton is leading 23-7. That was our halftime score. Maroons with 3 touchdowns in this ball game and a safety, their second safety of the year. Out of the eye with one wide receiver right side. Fumble. The handoff was fumbled. It hit the leg of the back, and Unity says they got it. Let's wait and see. Nate Sams dropped the ball, but I think the Maroons got it back. Let's wait and see. The Maroons have recovered and got that football back. I didn't see who got it back for the Maroons. We'll probably see it when we watch it on TV next week, but one of those linemen, I believe, got it back anyway. It goes for no gain. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Maroons. It looked like Nate was trying to hand it off to Carter, but the ball slipped out of his hands before he even got it toward his stomach or hands, and it hit him right in the legs and bounded away. Sam's on the option. We'll keep the football. Cuts it upfield. He's close to a first down. We'll see what kind of spot they give him. He's very close to a first down at the 35-yard line. And he has the first down. Sams, the 7 yards he needed to get the first down. The sophomore quarterback running that option very nice to the left, cut it upfield, and got the first down. Here's a good sign. Ben Helton's back in the ball game. Helton in on offense. He is back into the ball game, so he's all right. Took a real shot on a block when he was on defense a moment ago, but he's back in the ball game now. Out of the eye. Sams hands it off. Parson jumps inside a block, moves it upfield, stays on his feet, gets 7. Good blocking by the Maroons, and Matt reading the blocks nicely. Cuts inside and is able to stay on his feet and gain a gritty 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Maroons as the offense picking up right where they left off during the first half of play. Good ball control offense by the Clinton Maroons. They're out across the 40 to the 42-yard line on 2nd and 3. Sam sets them down again. Nate takes the handoff, option right, cuts it upfield, first down, lunges forward for a couple of more. He's to the 49-yard line, very close to midfield, and he got about 7 more yards on the play. The 3 he needed for the first down and 4 more to the 49 of Maroons territory. Another Maroons first down. A good close look at Nate Sams, the sophomore quarterback, who has come in here as just a sophomore and has taken this offense in his hands and has run it very, very well. He looks like he's taken a liking to this option offense, runs it very well. Split backfield this time for the Maroons. Parson and Carter. Parson gets the call into the right side of the line, barrels ahead for 7 more, maybe almost 8. He's into Unity territory, inside the 45 and down to about the 44-yard line. There's a good look at Matt Parson also. For those of you listening on the radio, you can see this replay next week on Clinton Cable TV, Channel 7. Here are the times. Tuesday, it'll be shown, got to double check my times here, 4:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday, then Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then at 7 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday. 3 replays for you next week. Carter caught in the backfield, but might have got about a yard on the play before he was corralled. They were trying to pull the football away from him, but he held on to it. Chuck Black making the tackle for Unity. A gain of a yard by Carter to the 43-yard line of Unity. Need a couple more. 3rd down and a long 2, it looks like, coming up for the Maroons. 3rd and 2. Basically, that starting offense still intact out there for the Maroons. They got double tight ends in there. Helton's back in there along with Nichols. Power I formation. Tailback Carter caught behind the line. Struggling forward, though. He'll be close to a first down, but I believe he's going to be a little bit short. And the Maroons have a decision to make here near the 41-yard line, whether or not to go for it, and I imagine they will. They've been able to convert so many of these short 4th down plays if it is 4th down. They give him a pretty good mark. They do say it is short, but only by about a half a yard. So 4th down and less than a yard for the Maroons. Running time off the clock. We're down to 5:20 to go. Here comes the play in from the sideline. Hammer brings it in. And the Maroons have to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. They don't want to take too much time here. Again, out of the power I. Sams, he will hand it off. Carter has got it, I believe, very close. But I believe he got it to the 40-yard line. We'll see what kind of spot the officials give him. Of course, the team obviously says it's a first down. Some of the Unity players say no way. That's very close. They might have to measure here. He didn't get quite the spot I thought he might. Not saying that's wrong by any means. It's just I thought he had a little bit more than that from my angle. But, of course, again, we're prejudiced. They will measure this. Clock is stopped with 4:59 to go in the 3rd quarter. Those are the difference between the Maroons keeping the football and earning some more time off the clock or Unity taking over here. Here is the measurement. You'll get a good close look at it on TV. And the Maroons, well, wait, get the chain strung out here. They have it by about half the football. Half the length of the football. First down, Maroons. Just outside the 40-yard line. And Clinton's drive will stay alive. Carter didn't get much on that carry, but he got just enough. He had plenty of blockers in front of him. Unity did a good job trying to cut it down. Good effort on their part. Back to the I formation now for the Maroons. And Sams will fake the handoff option. Somebody tripped him up a little bit. He stays on his feet, though. Got maybe a yard. He did get to the 40. Somebody made pretty good penetration there for Unity and botched up that option to the left. Forced Sams to take a couple steps farther back into the backfield than he wanted to. And also cut down the move to the left by the Maroons, slowed him down. Helton goes wide to the left side this time. Herzog's wide to the right side, split backfield on second down at about 10. He dropped the ball on the ground, picks it back up. A little exchange problem between center and quarterback that time, and that play didn't come off for the Maroons. So now they're faced with a third down. It's still about 9. The ball's at the 39-yard line of Unity. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Maroons. That sounds like Ben Nichols' call to me, but we'll wait and see if they decide to go to Big Ben. 3rd down and 9 near the 39 of Unity for the Clinton Maroons. Double tight end formation. Herzog in the slot right side, split backfield. They'll go misdirection. Herzog has it, cuts it up the middle, breaks an ankle tackle. He's a couple yards short of the first down when he goes down. Bates about had him 5 yards short of the first down, but he somehow slipped out of his grasp. And he's 2 or 3 yards short of the first down. It might be a little closer to 3, but it's 4th down, and the Maroons still have a chance to keep this drive alive. They're down to the 33-yard line of Olympia. They've got to get it to almost the 30. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter of play. Clinton is leading by the same score it was at halftime, 23-7. They stopped the drive by Unity, and they've controlled the ball for the last 5 minutes or so. Carter will try the left side, still pushing hard, and he might not have got it this time. I don't think he got it. A 4th down play, and Josh, I believe, was stopped short. Let's see if they even want to measure it. Unity's confident they've stopped, and they're bringing their offensive lineman onto the field. The officials will stop the clock, and I think they are going to bring the chains out and measure it. So we'll wait for the measurement. It will be close, but I think he's short by at least the length of the football this time. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to see the Maroons hang on to the football. Now, he's definitely short. So Unity holds this time and will take over at their own 31-yard line. Down to 3:12 to play in the third quarter. Cameron Bond hopefully getting some good pictures for the Clinton Daily Journal down there along the sideline. Will be back with us during the fourth quarter of play. Maroons defense will try to pick up where they left off, shutting down the Rockets, although the Rockets got some good runs from this man, Yoakley. Got a couple of yards that time trying the left side before he's cut down. Curley in on the tackle around the ankles for the Maroons. A gain of maybe 2, 2nd and a long 8 coming up near the 33-yard line in their own territory for the Rockets. No scoring so far here in the third quarter of play. The Maroons scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter of play. Gave up a touchdown early in the second quarter to make it 14-7, then got another touchdown right back. Here's a pitch on an option. Reinhardt has it, getting around the corner. Cut down near the 40-yard line, up to the 41. Very close to a first down for Reinhardt. He got about 9 yards on that play, or excuse me, more like 8 yards on the play, and maybe very close to a first down. The sticks are on the far side of the field. They're going to bring him all the way across and measure once more. 41-yard line in Unity territory. If they didn't make it, it'll still be 4th down and short. No, I'm sorry, it'll be 3rd down and short, won't it? 3rd down and short if he didn't make it. But he's very close to the first down. And the Maroons capped their scoring during that first half of play with a safety, Ben Nichols, tackling the quarterback, Justin Bates, in the end zone for the 2-point safety. Hey, this chain gang, they might have been a little late getting ready to go, but they're getting the workout now, or they're earning their money. Here's another measurement. You can't see it for the Unity players along the sideline, but the officials give us the sign. It is a first down, as we thought. 41-yard line in Rocket territory for the Unity Rockets. 1st and 10. And here in the second half, certainly they've had better luck running the ball on the ground than they did during that first half of play. They'll run out of the I formation once again behind Bates. Bates will give it to the second man, Reinhardt, gets through the middle, stays on his feet, gets it out close to midfield, cut down the 48 or 49-yard line, but he followed his blocking well that time. He's about 3 yards short of a first down, a gain of 7 Second down and 3 coming up for the Rockets as they approach midfield. This drive started at their own 31-yard line. They've got a player that comes off limping. Ryan Perry, one of their offensive linemen, a 255-pounder, comes out of the ballgame. And bothered by a leg a little bit. On 2nd and 3, again out of the I formation. Wide receivers both ways. Players jumping on the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what the call is here. Officials will confer with each other here at the center of the field. And we'll wait for the signal. It's against the Rockets. Procedure penalty, a 5-yard penalty will push them back inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line, where they will have, instead of a 2nd down and 3, about a 2nd down and 8 coming up. Minute 54 to play before the end of the 3rd quarter. The Rockets trying to get back in this ball game, trailing the Maroons 23-7, and they're having a little better luck moving the football, but that penalty pushes them back a bit. Bates is going to drop straight back, look downfield. He's under some pressure, flushed out of the pocket, cut from behind, and sacked. Sacked on the play by the Maroons. Doug Scott caught him by the shirt tail and threw him down inside the 30-yard line, back to the 28-yard line. A big loss on the play of almost 20 yards from the 43-yard line or 44-yard line, all the way back now inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long now for the Rockets. A 3rd down and about 24 yards to go for a 1st down. Bates has them up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the I formation again. Drop straight back again. Man coming through the middle. Throws it over the middle. Screen pass. It's caught. But the Maroons will cut it down after very little gain. Good hustling effort out there by the Maroons' Chad Herzog. But also on the play was Doug Scott again, who came from behind and made the tackle. I believe that was Brad Smith who made the catch on the play. I didn't catch it all that closely. It doesn't make all that much difference. It's well short of the 1st down, out to the 36-yard line, 4th down, and about 14 yards to go for a 1st down. And Reinhardt set the punt away again. He's at his own 24-yard line, awaiting the snap. 2 men deep for the Maroons. Not a big rush. There's a flag on the play. End-over-end kick that will chase Carter back inside the 30 to about the 27. Brings it back upfield to the 34-yard line. Still on his feet. Breaks another tackle. Now it's taken down strong. Forward progress to about the 33, 34-yard line. But a flag along the line of scrimmage. We'll wait and see what this penalty is with 18 seconds to go in the 3rd period. It occurred along the line of scrimmage with the snap of the football before the punt. 37. And do it again. And Carter and Herzog, the deep man, again standing about their own 25-yard line. We'll try maybe another run back here. I'll tell you what, they said the Rockets had some big men, and they do. They've got some big linemen out there. Big ball players. We look up and down their roster, guys that weigh 249, 255, 278, 235, 305, 260. Big boys. Still waiting to get set along the line of scrimmage for Unity to try this punt once more on 4th and 14. And again, Reinhardt standing inside the 25, about the 24-yard line. Has a snap. As time runs out in the 3rd quarter of play, Carter will be chased back inside the 30 again. Slips and goes down at the 26 on the turf that's getting a little bit slippery and wet out here with the evening darkness. And that's the final play of the 3rd quarter. No scoring in the 3rd quarter of play. The Maroons still lead 23-7. We'll be back with the 4th quarter in just a moment. And with a much better offensive running game during that 3rd quarter of play, but the Maroons defense so far able to contain them on their one drive that they moved it fairly deep into Maroons territory. The Maroons were able to hold them and prevent them from putting points on the board. And then just recently, again, able to shut them down, aided by a big quarterback sack that dropped them for a lot of yardage, able to force the Rockets to punt the ball back to the Maroons. So now the Maroons, I'm sure, here wanting to put together a ball-controlled drive of their own, starting from their own 26-yard line. Run a bunch of time off the clock, maybe take 5-6 minutes off the clock like they've done earlier this year. Option right, Sams keeping it, and about a 9-yard pickup right off the bat by Nate Sams. Nate spinning. I know it's got to worry some coaches once in a while. Hope he doesn't take a real shot and get hurt out there because he's doing such a great job at the quarterback spot. But every time he bounces right back up, healthy. He was stopped only about a half-yard short of a 1st down. 2nd down and just a half-yard or so to go for a 1st down for the Maroons. The ball just across the 35-yard line in Maroons territory. Early 4th quarter action. Sams again. He'll hand it off this time. Parson, big hole right side. First down and a lot more. He's across midfield. He's into Unity territory. Still on his feet. Pushes away a tackler and goes all the way to the 36-yard line. Watch that one next week on the replay, folks. That's a heck of a run by Matt Parson, showing his strength. He pulled tacklers. He shoved tacklers away and went all the way from the 35-yard line to almost the 35 of Unity. Almost a 30-yard gain. About 29-yard run by Matt Parson. That's not running much time off the clock, but if they put more points on the board, we'll certainly take it. Little insurance. 23-7 right now, the Maroons lead. Again, Parson will try the right side. This time he just bulls ahead, plows into the ground for about 3 or 4 yards. It'll bring up a second down at about 6 coming up for the Maroons as he's dropped at about the 32-yard line. Maybe closer to the 31 of Unity. Maroons maybe beginning to really like these road uniforms. So far, they played well for the Maroons, the first game in Olympia, and so far tonight, and they'll have to wear them again next week when we go to Warrensburg to take on the Cardinals. Who made this schedule anyway? All right, on second down and 6. Fake handoff, Sam's throwing to the left side. Man, the catch is made. Helton in for the touchdown. A beautiful Sam's downfield about 20 yards, caught near the 10-yard line. There by Ben Helton, and Ben, the final 10 yards into the end zone, and there's some icing on the cake possibly for the Maroons. 32-yard touchdown pass, Sam's to Ben Helton. Touchdown here with 10:39 in the fourth quarter of play, and now the Maroons lead 29-7. Boy, Sam's a nice fake. Of course, Unity expecting yet another run up the middle by the Maroons, and then when he rolled out left, he had Helton open out here in the left flat. Ben cradled it in and ran it in the end zone for the score. Now the extra point attempt. Hinton, placement down, saved just at the last second, and the kick is good. Boy, that was a nice job of handling the ball, and not a real good snap there by, I believe, Parson was the holder, wasn't he? Anyway, we'll double check it for you in a moment. We'll take a break here. 10:39 to go in the ball game, and now the Maroons lead 30-7 over Unity. Back with the Maroons kickoff in a moment. He'll do it again here for the Maroons early in the fourth quarter play. Low line drive kick, taken on the fly, and then fumbled on the ground, and then picked back up by Eric Temple. Still on his feet, gets a little bit of an opening, and now is brought down at about the 42-yard line. Good return by Temple after a little bit of a shaky start. That line drive kick a bit hard to handle. He thought he had it, and it came out of his grasp, but since it was such a low kick, the Maroons weren't near him, so he had time to pick it up and then get a decent run back out of it, out to the 42-yard line and Unity territory. 1st and 10 now for the Rockets. Once again, their offense will try to get on track. Their best offensive plays in this ball game have been passes to the big target, Joe O'Neill, the 6'2 senior. They got 3 pass completions to him in the first half. Bates is flushed out of the pocket. He'll try it upfield, gets the pass completed for about a 5-yard gain. Good immediate hit on Temple after he makes the catch by Josh Carter. Up to about the 47-yard line, a gain of 5. Bates, with good patience, under some pressure under the gun, got that pass off and was able to make the completion for about almost a 5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and a long 5 coming up for the Rockets near their own 46, almost the 47-yard line. O'Neill caught 3 passes during that first half of play and 1 for a touchdown. Bates might try to go to him here. No, again, over the middle. Completion made, but then the ball on the ground. And is that ruled a fumble? I believe it is. A catch and a fumble, the officials say. Recovered by the receiver, Eric Temple, after he dropped it at midfield. That's a gain of about 3 more yards. 3rd down and 2 coming up. 3rd and 2 right at midfield, just into Maroon territory for the Rockets. Bates out of the I formation once again. A hurry-up offense. Being flushed out of the pocket. Lofts it high in the air. Reinhardt will cradle it in. Has a first down. Good cut back to the center of the field. And then a good ankle tackle by Bob Igens, I believe it was. Yes, the sophomore safety. Grabbed him around the ankles and pulls him down inside the 45-yard line. Reinhardt gets it to about the 43-yard line. A first down for the Rockets. 9:13 to play in the ball game. Clinton leading 30-7. It's Igems, guys. Igems. That's all right. No problem. I'm sure I slaughtered some of your names, too. All right, on 1st and 10. Bates under pressure. Flicks it off to Reinhardt. Gets the catch and cuts it upfield for about 3 more yards to the 40-yard line. Tom Meyer in the face of Bates, but Bates staying cool under pressure. Got the pass to Reinhardt. The dump off to the back, out of the backfield. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7 or 8. 2nd down and about 8 here for Unity at the 40-yard line. Out of the I formation, Bates dropping back, looking over the field. Now lofts it out for Reinhardt. He takes a hit from Parson as the ball sails over his head, incomplete. The pass was a bit high. Matt Parson might have had a chance to pick that one off, but he wasn't even looking at the ball. He was looking at the intended receiver, and he was going to put a hit on him. Matt's still playing football out there. He's carried the ball a ton in this game. We don't have second half rushing yards in this ball game, but he has to be over 100 yards, I would think, in this ball game. At halftime, he was in the 70s, and he had a 29-yard run a little while ago. And still playing hard from his linebacker spot. Now at third down at 7 from the 40 for Unity. Bates back to pass again. Has a man out front to protect him. Throws it upfield. Completion made by O'Neal. There he is. He's a yard or two short of the first down, though, after he makes the catch. Several tacklers on the play. Adam Long was there. Josh Carter was there. And Matt Parson in the vicinity to make the tackle for the Maroons at the 35-yard line. About a 5-yard completion. 4th down and 2 now for the Rockets. And their yards are coming hard here. O'Neal comes up favoring his right leg, it looks like. Limping just a bit. And there's a timeout on the field. Let's see who's taking timeout. Unity will use a timeout. We'll take one also. 8 minutes to play in the ball game, and our score is Clinton 30, Unity 7. Back with more. Maroons with the lead of 30-7, but the Rocks trying to get some points on the board here in the 4th period of play. 8 minutes to play, and the Maroons are quickly drawn off sides. I'm not sure what happened there, because he had just gone down behind center, but apparently his cadence drew him off sides, and the official going the wrong way with the football. That's a first down, 5 yards the other way. First down for Unity to the 30-yard line. 2 men came across the line of scrimmage for the Maroons in a big hurry. Well, first down for Unity. Well, that's 1 each now. The quarterback's gotten a first down on the opponent. Yeah, for both teams now. One apiece. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Rockets. Bates under center. Has the football. We'll give it to the tailback. Reinhardt hit at the line of scrimmage by guess who? Matt Parson, and Reinhardt goes down immediately. A good heads-up hit by Matt Parson. Drops him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And hey, who's back? Look who's back. Cameron Bond.
They ran every play in the 3rd quarter away from me. I finally got some there at the beginning of the 4th quarter. Sorry
That's
about
all right.
that.
That's all right. We survived without you. And the Maroons doing quite well, although, you know, Unity did make some improvement with their offense, especially with their rushing game. You had them down for minus yardage in the first half of play. They went especially on that very first drive of the 3rd quarter. They looked like they were a different football team and were moving the ball.
Yeah, they did some things off in between the tackles there, but I think Clinton adjusted to it eventually, and now Unity's forced into some throwing situations as of right here.
Bates forced out of the pocket, couldn't find a receiver open, had to run with the football, got back to the line of scrimmage. A couple of Maroons very slow getting up, and
Kyle
hopefully
Bourne,
they're okay.
No, Kyle Bourne's one of them.
Kyle Bourne and Tom Meyer are up a little slow. I think they took a shot as he stepped up in the pocket and somebody laid a block on him, or maybe a couple of Rockets. They got some big boys on this team at Unity. They're not afraid to hit. They've really laid some hits on the Maroons. Ben Helton got up slow there. I don't know, obviously he came back in and he's all right.
On Helton. Apparently he just jammed his neck a little, maybe a pinched nerve, but they seem to think he was all right. Nice play by Bobby Ijams there. He gets up high in the air when he goes for those deflections. That's the 2nd time tonight he's gotten some air between him and the ground there.
Lofted pass over the middle, and Maroons had good coverage, and Ijams came up from a safety spot to swat the ball away and make sure there was no chance for that pass to be caught. It's 4th and 10 coming up. Well, we talked to you last week about the mood of the team along the sideline. They've got to be pretty sky high right now along the sideline this week.
The coaches are really concentrating on keeping the players in the game, too, obviously. The attention might tend to wander here a little bit, but they seem to be pretty intense there along the sidelines.
4th and 10, Bates rolling out right, lofting it down the right sideline and throws it out of bounds. A little bumping down there between, I believe that's O'Neal and the defender on the play for the Maroons, who was Chad Herzog this time. Adam Long had a lot of coverage earlier, and he really wanted a penalty call, but I don't think that was a catchable ball anyway. Maybe at least that's what the official is saying down there. It might have been too far thrown out of bounds. And the Maroons are going to take over and get the football back here with 6:36 to go.
Yeah, I thought maybe, I don't know that he was holding, but I think maybe their uniforms got locked up somehow. Maybe his face got on a jersey or something. I don't think it was intentional. I think there was a little holding there somewhere along the line, but I think it was maybe a jersey on his face mask.
Maroons are going to use a timeout, but we'll keep it here. 6 minutes and 36 seconds to go. 30-7 to score. No editorial comments out of the booth here at Unity, guys. Come on now. They weren't saying that we had an arm around him or something, did they?
I saw some jersey get pulled back, but again, I didn't see his hand on it either, so it could have been a couple.
Well, we've got it on videotape, so we'll look at it next week, guys, and I don't know, we'll drop you a line. We'll send you a postcard or something, let you know what it was, okay? You'll still be here. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Maroons when they take over here after this timeout at about their own 30-yard line. Well, you know, that's one thing you had to be careful of at halftime. Not a huge lead, but, you know, a couple touchdowns and a safety ahead. You got to make sure the guys don't come out just thinking all they got to do is kind of walk through it in the second half. And apparently the coaching staff did a pretty good job making sure they still had their heads in the game.
They were intent on moving the ball on the ground this half and trying to eat up some clock. They were definitely playing the clock over there on the sideline. Clinton, a couple times the coaching staff was calling for some measurements, hoping to milk out a couple extra seconds. Just the little things like that, making sure they run 3 straight plays, and you know, and I think they're milking the clock there, and they did a pretty good job of it.
They're making some substitutions now. The coaching staff, Chuck Nagel, Brian Knutson, going to play some of the second stringers, so to speak, on this football team. We see Ross Wantlin in there on the offensive line. Coming wide to the near side of the field is Lance Taylor at a wide receiver spot. Sands is still in there. Hands off to the running back on that play, which was Ryan Conley, and Ryan got his bell wrong. Man, did he take a shot. And Jeff Wilson's in there at the other running back spot, I believe it is. I also see in the game Wiley Schott. Who else do we have in there, Cameron? Coming in from the sideline with the play, I believe. Well, I better wait and see. Yeah, that's Russ Wantlin. We already mentioned him. Another wide receiver in the ball game is Jamie Queer. He's wide to the right side. And on 3rd down and long, is that still right, or is that somebody else wearing another number 9? No. That's another quarterback in the ball game.
I believe that might be Ryan Schumacher. I'm not positive on that, but I saw 2 9s on the sidelines warming up, and I should have paid attention.
No, that's the backup 9, and you believe that's.
I believe it might be Ryan Schumacher. I'm not positive about that. Well, we don't have another 9 on the roster.
That did not look like Nate Sam's running the option right that time. They're just a little bit different in the looks, the way he handled the ball that particular time, and also just the way the uniform looked on him. But they are both wearing number 9s out there. Ryan, of course, is a sophomore also, and he is the quarterback of the JV football team, I believe. I haven't been out to see him yet this year.
Yeah, he is. Ryan and Nate are very similarly built. Both very good athletes, both sophomores, good friends, and they they play a very similar game. They're good athletes. They run the ball, and Ryan threw the ball pretty well in a couple of on the JV scrimmage for the Maroon Gold Knight. I was watching him a little bit, and yeah, he'll do a fine job for the Maroons here. If that's Ryan, like I said, we're not positive on that yet.
Travis Cornwell is in the ball game for the Maroons. We know that for sure, and so is Frankie Russell in at a line position offensively. All right, the Maroons on a 3rd down and long. They had the penalty, and they're going to air it out. Deep down the sideline, Bates thought a beat on it, but the catch is made. It went over his head, and it's a 1st down for the Maroons' second-string offense as the catch is cradled in by Lance Taylor. Lance, a big 1st down catch at the 45-yard line of Unity, and we believe that's Ryan Schumacher. He threw a pretty nice ball there down the left sideline.
Yeah, it looks like that pass could be a staple of the Clinton offense this year. They've run it a couple times tonight, and I believe they ran a couple times against Olympia. And again, when you got quarterbacks like Schumacher and Sands that can air the ball out a little bit like that, it's a nice play. It gives you a chance to make good positive yardage, and if they get an interception, well, you know, chances are it's going to be like a punt. They might get a good return on it, but it's a good, safe pass.
Wilson on the carry. Gets a couple of yards, running toward the left side of the line. Jeff Wilson is a guy that, you know, maybe not get a lot of chances this year to run with the football, but he's a junior, and next year we'll see this guy carrying the football out. He's a good back. He's just a junior, 5'10", 165 pounds.
Good, tough inside runner. He's given some chances to run some last year, and he did a good job. He's contributing on defense. He'll play some defense this year. He came in for Helton when Helton got hurt, and the coaching staff feels there's really very little drop-off with all 3 of their linebackers, Helton, Parson, and Wilson.
2nd and 3. Again, the Maroons will run it and get a couple more yards on this play. I want to mention that Casey Hicks is in the ball game now and playing some.
Did you get Brad Earl at the end?
And he was next on my list. Brad Earl's in at the right end position, and he was in on that play.
It looks like Jamie Queer is going to play a wide receiver or a slot back.
Now, they just gave that carry to Dave Moore, and I did not watch the ball carrier that closely. I don't know if that was the case or not, but we'll watch and see if he is in there. Yes, Dave Moore is in there in the backfield. He's just a sophomore, 5'6", 145. He got a couple of yards. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Maroons. Down to 3:52 to go in the game. And Moore gets the call and got maybe 1 or 2 more. They'll run another play. I tell you, we got some pretty big boys here on this second offensive line. You look at guys like Casey Hicks, who's 6'1", 245. John Fenton was in there a moment ago. He's 6'1", 190. Who else do we mention? Wiley Schott. He's 5'9", 225, though, and I believe he's a DeLand Weldon young man, isn't he?
Wiley attends DeLand Weldon High School.
Wide receivers both ways.
Is he playing center tonight? I believe that's where he backs
I'll
up.
have to double check on that. They'll pitch it and run right, and Conley back in the ball game will get the call, puts his head down, has a first down. I tell you what, these guys aren't doing too bad.
Good
of course,
tough,
the
good
pass
tough
play
run,
was a big one.
Good
Go
tough run by Ryan. He had to put his head down to get the yardage, and that's what he did. And he came up with the extra 2-3 yards there. I think he may have gotten out of bounds, but still got the first down. So they're going to start the clock. So I guess he did stay in bounds. So that's heads up play all around.
3 minutes to go in the ball game. The Maroons leading 30-7, and the reserves running out the clock. Might have been a broken play. Schumacher with the football is going to lose some yardage this time. Don't think it was meant to go that way. He found himself in no man's land out there on the right side and had to eat the football and lost 3 or 4 yards, maybe 4 or 5. But that still keeps the clock running. 2nd down and 14 coming up for the Maroons. Well, I don't know. Good all-around game. It'll be interesting to talk to the coach tomorrow morning at 9:30 on Coach's Corner. Obviously, he's going to have a lot of good things to say tomorrow morning. But I'm sure there's still a lot of work to do to continue to prepare for some of the opponents coming up, like Warrensburg-Latham next week.
Well, they'll enjoy this game tonight, but I promise you, starting tomorrow, they're thinking Warrensburg-Latham.
There's another young man that can run that football. He's got some good quickness. Ryan Conley with the carry that time. Ryan, he can turn on the jets and really motor, and he'll get a chance to carry the ball some more this year. And obviously, he being a junior also, next year could be possibly the starting backfield with Wilson maybe next year. He at the tailback and Wilson at the fullback possibly.
Yeah, I think it'd be close to see who the fastest Maroon is. I would say it might be a coin flip between Bobby Idgems and Ryan Conley. Both of them made it to state finals in the track on one of the relay teams last year.
What about you? You're right in there with them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm more of a lineman kind of guy.
In your car,
yeah.
Okay. Here's a pitch. Conley around the left corner. Gets out of bounds. Stops the clock. Down to about the 26-yard line. Schumacher, if that indeed is him, took a bit of a shot out there after he pitched the ball, but gets right back up.
Again, Ryan and Nate, very similar builds and stature. And it's difficult to tell when they're both wearing the same numbers which one that is out there. But I believe it is Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're right.
I'm confident. I'm confident it's not Nate. My question is it Ryan that wears number 9? That's my question. Having not seen the JV team, I don't know if that's what he wears for the JV or not. But I think you're probably right on that. It's 4th down and a long yard to get another first down and run out the rest of the time on the clock here. Under 2 minutes. Quarterback keeper. Schumacher very close to it. Had to get it down to about the 24-yard line. And he's very close to it. We'll let the officials look it over, and they give him the first down. So 3 first downs by this, I hate to call him second string. The backup offense here has run out the clock, basically here. Down a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, I don't like to use that term because a lot of them do contribute in ways you don't always normally pick up. Special teams, some of the return units, a lot of them will fill in for injuries or for quick breathers. I mean, they're not totally second-string guys, and several players out there make contributions.
Conley up the middle again.
In many unseen ways.
About another 4-yard gain for Ryan, maybe close to 5. 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Maroons, and we're down to 1 minute to play in this one. And the Maroons will go 2-0 on the year, 2 non-conference victories to start the season. Now, we've done this in years past also.
I see Ryan Black out there, the receiver. I don't know if you had mentioned him.
No, I hadn't mentioned him yet.
Okay, I see him lining up as it's like a wide out here to the left.
I believe Andy Curley's back in there, possibly. Here's the option right, and Schumacher's going to eat the football again and lose a couple of yards. 3rd down and long coming up for the Maroons with about 34 seconds to go.
Again, it's late in the game and it doesn't seem to mean much, but it's nice to see Ryan make a heads-up play like that, not try to pitch the ball when he's going to be in trouble. And I've been impressed with Clinton's young quarterbacks and how they've made good decisions on the option play. It's a tough offense to run, and through 2 games of the season here, Clinton's done it fairly well, in my opinion.
Well, we start this schedule with 3 straight road games. We've played 2 of them now, and we're going to come home with W's in both the first 2. 1 more to go at Warrensburg. Let's see, 1 more snap of the football. Just a few seconds left. They'll try the middle, and David Moore gets nothing, but time has run out. This one's official now. The Maroons have won their 2nd straight ball game. They are 2-0 on the year, and they'll start conference action next week when they play down at Warrensburg Latham in their opening conference game of the year. The final scores, we'll come back and recap it for you in just a moment.